Hi there, I'm Lena Anani, and you're listening to She Wrote a Book, where I interview amazing women from all over the world who also happen to be published authors. I created this show to educate, entertain, and inspire you to be the voice you want to hear in the world. Now let's get started. You are listening to episode number 124 of She Wrote a Book, and today I'm interviewing Holly Worton, author of the book Business Intuition: Learn to Tap into Your Intuition for Easy Business Success. Get fast and easy results in your business by improving your intuition. This book helps you develop your intuitive senses by giving you practical actions that you can take to enhance your intuition and use it in your business. Holly Worton is an author and business mindset coach for women entrepreneurs. She helps women entrepreneurs release their fear of visibility, set aligned prices for their products and services, and take inspired action to grow their businesses. Again, her book is called Business Intuition: Learn to Tap into Your Intuition for Easy Business Success. You can find the link to purchase her book in our show notes for this episode at SheWroteABook.com/124. So, Holly, it is such a pleasure to have you as a guest today. My first question for you is this: what inspired you to write and publish your book?
Well, this was the fourth in a series of business books. And it was something that kind of came up as a result of a session that I had with my business coach. And we were talking about how important intuition is for me in running my business. And she was saying, well, how can you help other people tap into their intuition and build that? And I thought, oh, I could write a book about it. So it just kind of popped into my mind as kind of a new book topic.
And then, so where does this, like, at what point did you come up with the idea that intuition and business go hand in hand?
Well, I think because for so long, like this is my kind of my second main business. So my first business I ran for about 10 and a half years and with a business partner, and I totally got out of touch with myself and my intuition and just made a bunch of decisions that did not feel aligned with me. And so I'd really gone off track for so long. And it's been since I left that business, which was, I think, 2008, 2009. Since then, I've been kind of on track to try to tap into my intuition more, just for personal reasons, because I felt so lost and disconnected from myself. And so now that I'm back in touch with my intuition, I use it to come up with ideas for my business, know what my priorities are, make decisions in my business, know who I want to work with, who I want to approach, what to do, that kind of thing. It's kind of like this inner compass that just makes everything so much easier.
And how do you do that? How do you tap into that and give us like a specific example of a moment where you have a decision to make and you use your intuition?
Right. So for example, I met up with a business friend a couple weeks ago. First time we'd met in real life. We do kind of co-hosted podcast episodes together, and we've done other stuff together. But we had met for lunch in London. We're out having some ice cream afterwards, and in my mind it just popped, we need to do a program together. And so I said to her, like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what it means. It just popped into my mind and it's coming out of my mouth. But I think we need to do like a 3-month coaching program together. And so she said, okay, what does that look like? And so we just kind of hashed it out as we were eating ice cream and figured it out. And so we just had another strategy meeting today to talk about it and kind of flesh it out a little more. But it was this gut feeling that just, I felt that I needed to say this to her, that we needed to do this program together. And it just, yeah, like that. It was like an instant download.
That's so much fun. I love it. In past examples, how do you know you made the right decision? What kind of indicators let you know that your intuition led you in the right direction?
Because it gets me clear results in my business, or it's drawn me to something else that's helped me kind of, stay on the right track, or it's just kind of a gut feeling that it was right. It was the right thing to do.
People talk about this gut feeling all the time. Like,
yeah.
You gotta trust your gut. For someone who has, I'm very familiar with intuition, but I always love to ask questions because I love to learn from like how other people's perspective about I love to learn other people's perspective on intuition. But at the same time, I also think about my listeners, and I don't know if all of my listeners are familiar with intuition, and I'm sure they hear. I'm asking this question on their behalf. Like when someone says, "Trust your gut," it's a gut feeling, right? How in the world are we supposed to know what that feels
That
like?
is an excellent question, and that's something that 7 or 8 years ago, I would have been like, I don't know, because I don't even know what you're talking about. That's something other people have. But I think it's something that everyone has if they just kind of turn up the volume on it. So it's just this feeling that something is just right. It just feels totally aligned and right for you, and it feels good. And an important thing that I need to say is, just because something doesn't feel good doesn't mean that it's not right, because sometimes, in business, we have to take action on stuff that takes us outside of our comfort zone. So it's scary, but it's still the aligned and good and right thing for us. So there's a really fine line between knowing what's right because your gut said, or your heart said, or whatever you call your intuition. And sometimes you've got to take action that's right and aligned, and it's aligned with your intuition, but it still doesn't feel great because it's scary and it's something new. So it's a very, very subtle thing, and it's something that you can only develop over time of listening to it and taking action to it, taking action on it, and just really working to refine it.
I love it. And I love that earlier you said something, whether you trust your gut or
Yeah.
follow your heart, something along those lines. And I'm like, oh, that's true. Like
Yeah.
sometimes we do use the term heart, sometimes we use the term gut. Where do you think that comes from? Like, why do we have two different places to pull intuition from? Or even a third, because we talk about the third eye, right? The pituitary gland. Like, why are these so many different points in our body that we pull from?
Yeah, well, I think different people probably feel it in different plaers. Like, I get a clear gut feeling. I don't really talk about my heart that much, but I feel the need to mention it because I know that's where some people feel it, or, third eye. And I always say that my gut is smarter than my head, because when I make decisions based on my intuition, they tend to turn out better than when I make decisions based on my head. Because so often my head will get in the way and be like, oh, no, you can't do that. That's really hard. That's really scary. Whereas my gut's like, no, do that, do that, do that. But I think different people just get in touch with their intuition or their higher self or whatever the heck you want to call it in different ways. And some people are going to do that through the heart.
And then going back to the gut, I'm sorry if I'm like boring you with these questions, right? I'm like, you're like, for the love of God, don't ask me about the gut again. But I'm going to. Okay, great. So going back to the gut, I've noticed from personal experience, and I've heard other people say this before. So like if you come face to face with a decision that you have some fear about and your stomach is churning and makes you want to throw up, that's an indicator that's supposed to be an indicator that yes, you're supposed to move forward with that decision.
Right. So
what are your thoughts on that?
Like I said, it's so subtle because sometimes you've got that fear where it's churning in your gut, but it's still the right thing for you to do. It's just, like I said, it's taking you outside of your comfort zone, so it's scary and it's making your gut churn. But that doesn't mean that it's wrong for you to do. It just means that it's, new and different and scary. So I think there's a very subtle difference between my gut's giving me the right feeling and my gut's giving me a scary feeling. And there are all these feelings you can get there. And I think it's a matter of just getting to know yourself and taking action based on that gut feeling and seeing how it turns out for you and getting to know what each gut feeling means, whether it's fear or whether it's alignment or whether it's, a download is coming or it's the right thing. So I think it's going to be different for everyone.
And most importantly, when I eat spicy food,
yes.
My gut
Your gut's
tells
like,
me
no more of that. How many times have I told you? Now I will punish you.
I love it. Going back to your book, I'm looking at your book cover, and I think it's just gorgeous. The image on your book cover is so beautiful.
Well, I work with Kim Killian, who actually specializes in romance cover designs. And back when I used to work with authors, I had sourced her as a person to do a cover for an author I was working with who did romance covers, but I also saw that she did nonfiction covers, and I really, really love her work. I think she does great book covers, and so I have worked with her to do all of my book covers, my 4 business book covers and my 2 walking book covers. She's done them all, and I love her to death. So I gave her kind of a Pinterest board of stuff that I liked and said, this is what I like and why, and she put it together and just came up with my covers, and I love her.
Oh, that's incredible. I love that. That's that's such a great process too, like to be able to communicate what you
Well, I
want
tend to be, I think it's important to be as
to a
specific
designer.
as
I love it.
possible because she
Um,
can't read my mind. So I need to tell her what I like and why so that she can come up with the best way of
mhm.
expressing what my book is about to potential readers.
Perfect. Perfect. And then I noticed
Yes.
that you cover psychk in your book. Yeah. So for the benefit of the
Yeah.
listener, can you just
Yeah.
give us a
So
brief
psychk is
description of
how I
what that
work with
is and why
clients.
it
It's
works?
it's a process that helps you reprogram your beliefs at the subconscious level. So that could involve releasing stress and trauma. It could be releasing fear. It could be programming positive beliefs or intentions of what you do want. There's a number of different ways we can use psychk to work with the subconscious and change your mindset. But it's absolutely amazing because it's so quick and easy. It takes between 2 and 5 minutes to change a single belief. And it's just really fast acting and it gets great results. And I love it. It's changed my life. And that's why I use that technique to work with clients because it's been so life changing for me.
That's amazing.
No,
Is this something that you do, like you have to do
no,
psych on a daily basis to
no,
change one
seriously. Like
mindset, or is it
it's
like
2 to 5 minutes
seriously
to change
just
a
in
single
those two
belief.
minutes?
So maybe you need to, if you're working on a particular issue, like I don't know, visibility. That's a big thing that's been a problem for me, and it's been a problem for a lot of my clients. So fear of visibility, fear of marketing yourself, fear of getting yourself out there. That might take a session, an hour and a half to work on all the different aspects of that. So releasing fears of when your teacher called on you in school and made fun of you and everyone laughed. So now you're afraid to be visible. So, okay, that's going to be 5 minutes. We've got to release that. Maybe there's another fear based on something that happened to you at a different point in life. So, okay, release that. Then we work on, what is visibility going to do for you? How's that going to impact your life? What do you want as a result of being visible? Program those beliefs in. So if it's something, because if it's kind of a big topic, yeah, it might take us a whole session to work on it. But if it's a specific belief, it's just 2 to 5 minutes.
Awesome, awesome, and clearly you've worked through your visibility issues because you have several books on Amazon, which brings me to
Well,
my last
I've been a
question,
big
which
reader
is,
my entire
what do you
life,
love
ever
most
since I was a
about being
kid.
an
And I actually
author?
started writing books when I was 7 because I got through books so fast that there weren't enough books for me. So I had to start writing my own. So what do I love the most about being an author? I love writing books. I love the process of writing, but I also love getting this information out there so that it can help other people because reading is one of my favorite ways of learning. It's not online courses, it's not, videos, it's reading. I love reading books. That's my best way of learning, and I want to help other people learn through the knowledge that I have and putting that into a book format. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Holly. Thanks again for being our special guest today. We will have a link to your book in the show notes for this episode, and our listeners can find that at
Thank you.
SheWroteABook.com/124 to learn more about our author and her. Thank you for listening to She Wrote a Book. If you enjoyed this episode, then subscribe now so you can automatically get access to all new episodes, and feel free to share your inspired thoughts with us in the comments too. I'd love to hear from you. Until then, may you always feel good and make magic.